All right, switching gears into some RC stuff here today. We've got a really interesting plane. I've been watching some videos. I wanted something to fly here at the farm, something slow, and ultra. Well, here it is. From E-Flight, slow, ultra, stick, 1.2. A classic design, old school, minimalist airframe, but they've upped it with this one because the wing loading is even better. You've got these huge ailerons that we're going to be playing around with, and just an overall modern take on a classic design. And we're going to add a couple of other things too. We've got some bigger wheels here from a different plane, but they should fit. So they're from the Timber. I used to have a Timber. If you go back and look in the videos, I had a lot of fun with it. I flew it on water. It had pontoons, and it was just a great plane. And unfortunately, I had my charger set on the wrong setting. This is back in the day before all the smart batteries and stuff. I had it on the wrong setting and I burned the plane up. It overcharged the battery, blew it up, and bye-bye Timber. Unfortunately, I'd love to have another one, but here at the farm, I think this is going to be a great option. We're going to make this into a short takeoff and landing plane for the farm. We're going to do some cool slow flight, and it should be fun. It's getting dark out, so we might not be able to maiden it today, but we will in this video, so just hang tight and watch what we do to make an already great plane even better. All right, that was 5 minutes of assembly and good half hour of programming. This is a different setup than stock. We have, just so you know, we've got dual aileron servos on board now so that we can run flaperons. And then we put the bigger wheels on here, like I said, so that we can do more grass hops and off-roading, some bush flight stuff. So I'll show you real quick the dual ailerons. So they work normal, just as you would expect. And then the flap switch brings flaps down, as you can see. So that gives us a little more airfoil. Cool setup. I'm glad that this plane has the opportunity to do that. I want to give a shout out to Brian Phillips and Two Brothers RC for giving me the idea to do that stuff on this specific plane and actually basically talking me into getting this plane. Watched a couple of videos and had to have one. So we're ready to maiden. We're gonna make sure the battery's topped off, make sure everything's ready to go, and we'll take it outside and see what she does on her first flight. I'm gonna maiden it at the farm. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're out here against my better judgment. It's windy and this is a small area, but I'm gonna attempt to just get this thing in the air and see what it does. Roll it around in the grass a little bit here. I'll come across this way, see what it does. There he goes. Yeah, wind is definitely there. So let's try and set it down in the wind. See how it does. Okay. So the trims were not too far off. The wind is something to contend with. I just wanted to hop it in the air real quick and see what it felt like. And it's totally controllable. Just the wind is always sketchy, especially in a tight area the first time. That is the absolute first time this plane is flown. So first flight looked good. It did what it was supposed to do. Controls were working in the right directions. And I can't really ask for too much more. But hey, we'll try a couple more times and see exactly how she does. Might have a little more area somewhere else to fly, but I'm just going to keep flying in this general spot just because I feel like it's the least dangerous out of all of them. Nice and slow. Love it. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty dialed. I know it's probably pretty hard to see on the GoPro. I'm going to bring it in again for another landing. It's exactly what I got this thing for. Slow flight. Easy landings. Look at that thing. Man, that thing flies nice with this awesome wing loading. Trims are actually pretty close. Not gonna lie. Okay, let's come back in here. Look at that, huh? Very nice. Love it. I'm gonna get a little altitude here, and I'm gonna pop the flaps.
Takeoff flaps.
Okay, so now we got our half flaps. Let's see what that does. Still a good control. Slow her down. Oh yeah, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That is literally 10 feet. It just lands no problem. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. We're able to put this thing down in barely any room at all. And I'm getting a little more confident now. I can see the takeoff distance is nice and short. And with the flaps down, it just jumps into the air. And that's what we want. Look at that. I had enough room to take off right there. I love it. So good. Throttle off, coming in. Look at this thing. Look at that. It just glides. No problem. Man, really cool. Love it. So that's the basics. There's a couple other tricks too that I've added to this. Alongside the flaperons, which we'll bring up.
Flaps up.
We also have reverse, which I've added. So this thing, if I'm landing in a very short area, I could hit the reverse button here, and it provides reverse thrust, which will really slow us down. You want to be careful with that though, because you could definitely run into something, or you could literally plop the thing out of the sky if you've got a little altitude. If you're, off the ground, you want to make sure you're just touching the ground when you use this. But a really cool feature. I love the idea of having that just as an added bonus. Okay, so the wind has died down. I'm going to try and get some GoPro here of just a quick takeoff and landing. This thing is great. So far, so good. I'm going to try and show the reverse thrust as well. Let's see how short this thing can take off and land. Jumps in the air, no problem. Okay, now come around again. Okay, get ready with this reverse this time. It's a pretty tough little plane, but you can see how it works. Not bad. It just, literally 5 feet. It was stopped, full stop. And that was a little bit aggressive, but just trying to show the features. Pretty cool. We'll do one more. How about that? Same direction. Okay.
26 amps, 100 Fahrenheit. ESC 10.8 volts, 13 amps, 100 Fahrenheit.
Okay, coming around again. Here we go. Doesn't take up any space when landing. I love it. How about that, huh? Literally 4 or 5 feet. That thing is just... This is a short takeoff and landing miracle right here. Slow ultra stick. God. Hopefully that shows up good on the camera. We'll get some more video with a better camera when I've got help. Anyway, see ya.